We're calorie counting. We're talking about John's Karen incident.
Sorry, I just said that.
John is a hot mess right now. He is like out.
I came in hot.
You're not even in frame.
Damn,
John.
we literally fucking start. Okay, daytime pod.
This is the quickest we've ever started. First of all,
Daytime pod,
and it's literally daylight outside. Which is quite an accomplishment for me. I feel like I've redeemed myself.
This is nice.
It's good. It's different, right? The lights are on. Yeah. It's a different vibe. It's AM. Ida,
brunch
AM,
vibes.
John. Yeah, brunch vibes. And by brunch, we mean 6:03 p.m. I mean, it's not exactly daylight, but right now it feels very much like it's in the middle of the day. Are we recording? Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay, great.
All right,
so John had an incident at AM, PM, and he was telling me about it, and then in the middle of him telling me about it, I was like, just talk about it on the pod.
Can I start at the beginning?
Absolutely. Of course. I mean, I would hope so.
The past 3 weeks I have trusted in Los Angeles institutions that I've been going to for like 10 plus years. That AM PM is one of them. I was going to that AM PM when it wasn't even before the remodel, when it was like a little box and there was like a Native American guy working there. I've been going to that AM PM since I was 20. For 10 years, I've been going to that AM PM. I've spent thousands of dollars at AM PM. I've been going, so we're going to start at the beginning.
You've probably spent you've probably put pumped enough money into that business to like put a down payment on a house.
Absolutely. I could have just, I honestly might as well, okay, never mind. Fuck it. I go.
He's so manic right now. I love it.
No, I'm pissed. I'm heated. I'm not pissed. I'm excited that something went my way.
I feel like an exploitative manager right now. No,
it's okay.
We love love the anger.
We love that you do what I said, Brian Williams.
Yeah.
Wilson. Maruya, have you been to Maruya with me? Ramen Maruya?
No, I know. It's a famous ramen spot.
It's next to Amasa.
Right? Yeah, right.
It's not that famous, but
I feel like it's one of the ones that's, or maybe I'm thinking of Maruya, its own restaurant. I don't know. Anyway.
So Maruya, okay, I'm going to put this forward. All of our listeners, if you live in Los Angeles, never go to Ramen Maruya, ever. Okay? I've been going to Ramen Maruya for 10 years. Ramen Maruya.
They upset you, huh?
I go there, and if I'm feeling a little extra hungry, I get a side of chicken katsu. I get a chicken katsu on the side.
So I'll get the ramen.
So I'll get ramen with a side. No. Usually I get ramen with a side of chicken katsu, or I'll get like a pork chashu bowl with a side of chicken katsu, because it's $6 for a side of chicken katsu. They give you a cutlet of chicken, and they give you a little dipping sauce, and it's just a great little. It's all protein, and I mean there's breading on it, but still it's like. It's not as bad as getting like an extra like gyoza or something.
Sure.
So.
And this is today. This happened, or
no, this is like 2 weeks ago. This is me. This is the beginning of John.
It's on the forefront of his mind.
This is the beginning of John getting fucked by the LA institutions. I hate saying getting fucked because it sounds so violent and disgusting, but it's true.
It's true.
So I go to Ramen Maruya. That day I happened to have done a 7-mile walk in downtown LA. I was fucking hungry.
By the end of that walk, he became homeless. That's what happens when you do 7 miles in downtown LA. You just become homeless.
I was just fucking, I was literally, my feet were like sore.
You become tattered and smelly.
Tattered. I have cum on my face. I walk in there and I literally, I get a chicken katsudon.
Okay.
So it is a bowl of rice with chicken katsu on top and some other accoutrements. And I say, may I have an extra chicken katsu with the chicken katsu? And they said, no, you can't do that. And I said,
well, why?
I'll pay for it. I go, why? And they go, that's only an extra for the ramen. And I said, it was a busy day. Anime Expo was going on there. And I said, but I always come here. They know me. Again, thousands of dollars. I know the owner. Thousands of dollars.
They see you porking up.
They know
and they're trying to help you.
I'm a little porky pig.
John, I want to tell you that I called them and I told them, do not serve him another chicken
I go
katsu.
there.
He doesn't need it.
I was there with Dev. We get calamari and I go, I want an extra chicken katsu. And I never, ever, ever asked to speak to a manager. Ever.
Yeah.
But the waiter goes, we can't do that. And I go, can I talk to your manager? Because I'm like, this is insane.
Right.
This is nuts. I always get an extra katsu with my meal. Not always. I've done it like probably 3 or 4 times.
And there's no like, just to be clear, there's no like language barrier here, right?
No. The guy was like Latino I was talking to.
Okay, word.
But the manager is like Japanese. The manager comes over and they go, no, it's not allowed. And I go, but I've done it before. multiple times.
And it's because you're not getting the thing that the chicken katsu comes with, right?
Yes, but the thing is I would understand if I was getting gyoza, dumplings, dumplings, and then I was like, let me get chicken katsu on the side. I'd understand that, but I was literally getting chicken katsu don, and I wanted just another chicken katsu.
You just wanted more of what you were already getting.
I wanted more meat. That's what I wanted. I said, give me more meat. But it was like insane. They were like, no, I won't do it. And the manager was like, no, we won't do it. And I just said, I'm walking out.
Oh,
I just said, all right. I said, we were starving. I go, Dev, we're walking out. Oh. I get up. I go, I pay the $18 for the two. I think Dad had a beer and I had a Diet Coke and we had calamari. I paid the $18, 20% tip.
Damn, beer, calamari, and a Diet Coke only for $18?
It's a really good deal. It's a good price.
It's not bad. Downtown LA? Damn,
oh, yeah. Good prices there. But don't ever go there.
Actually, inadvertently, this became an ad for that place.
Yeah, fuck ramen Maria. I go there. So I
can't attest to that. I don't like to speak badly of poor businesses, but I guess this one did you wrong.
Did me dirty.
They did you dirty.
So I go, we're leaving. And they go, what? They didn't expect me to walk out.
Oh,
and I go,
okay.
I'll take the check.
Right. But you were waiting for them to be like, I'm really going now. Like, John's at the corner of the door. He's like, I'm going.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to be like, no, we'll
going.
give it a Dude, I've literally met.
Just silence.
We've tipped them hundreds of dollars before. We've tipped them.
With whose money?
Joey's. But Joey's tipped them
while he's drunk and inebriated, and you take advantage of his
fucking destroyed. We painted Ramen Maria red.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was incensed that they wouldn't give me a fucking chicken
All
cutlet.
you wanted was more food. I mean, a restaurant exists so you can order food.
I said, I'll pay for it. They should be willing to sell me fucking anything. And you know what?
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're like, no, we're only going to save all the chicken katsu for the ramen because we make more money off the ramen and we have more ramen. And I'm like, no. You just sell the fucking food. That's how you make a successful restaurant. You sell the fucking food.
I pay you money.
Yes, exactly.
That's the deal. That's the way this works.
Insane. And I said, I'll take the check, pay the check, went over to Suihiro Cafe, arguably the worst Japanese restaurant in Little Tokyo. But
come on. You love that place. And it's closing.
Love Suihiro. We support Suihiro. Suihiro Cafe is decent.
It is John's favorite place.
It's decent food. It is my favorite place, but it smells like cat litter and it doesn't taste that good. But like the thing is it's a great restaurant. It's an LA
institution. It's been around forever.
It's owned by the Killer Cop.
And it shouldn't be closing.
Owned by a Killer Cop.
Despite the seed oil.
It's a great, so much seed oils, but it's great. So we immediately went over to Suihiro Cafe and I sat down. I said, these fuckers at Ramen Maria wouldn't do? And they said, what? And I said, give me an extra. I complained to the waiters. I said, they didn't give me another chicken katsu don. It was another chicken katsu, my chicken katsu don. They said, oh, we'll do that here. I said, give me two.
Yeah.
And they just
Is it as good?
It was fine. It's hard to fuck up chicken katsu. It's like the quesadilla of the Japanese world.
You know who has good chicken katsu? Silver Lake Ramen. And in fact, better ramen than any other.
Silver Lake Ramen in years.
Are you serious? It's the best ramen in LA.
Ramen is something that I have to do in October. I can't do it now. Too much.
But you did it 2 weeks ago.
No, I got chicken katsu don. I didn't get ramen.
Okay. I haven't had ramen in a long time, but Silver Lake Ramen is the spot.
It's very good. They had a Silver Lake Ramen in Atlanta. I know, weird to think about, right?
It's actually really odd.
They had a Silver Lake Ramen, and I was walking by.
It's such a busy spot. They have a Silver Lake Ramen to go, like literally less than a mile away from the actual location.
It's a very poppin' spot. I remember there was a girl that worked there that I had a big crush on when I was in my early 20s, and she would wear a beret. And I thought that was so cool. But anyways, so
you were upset, and then today at AM PM, what happened? What was the incident today?
I go there yesterday with Joey. I get vape pods, but I get a bag for my snacks and my drinks. And the lady puts Juul pods in my bag, doesn't get the right pods. I use Views pods. She gets Juul pods, put them in the bag. I immediately go, oh, this lady, it's like $35. I was like, this is too much. I go back and I go, hey, you guys gave me the wrong pods. Can you replace these? And she goes, yeah, I can replace them. And she puts them back and grabs the Views pods, gives them me. I know the lady. Apparently she made the same mistake with Joey. Joey goes, I want mine replaced too. And then she goes, no, we can't do refunds.
What?
I know. So what I think happened is she felt comfortable doing it with just one person.
But you guys were there at the same time.
Exactly. But I think she felt comfortable doing it with one person. But the second two people asked for it, then she thought it was a con or something. So I understand why she was angry.
They do be getting conned over.
They do be getting conned.
Yeah.
So I walk in there, and they go, "Well, come back tomorrow." Yeah. Because we'll do it tomorrow. And I go, "Joe, give me your pods. I'll come back tomorrow." They didn't expect me to come back today. I come back today,
No.
and the lady's walking through the store, and I go, bet you didn't expect to see me. And she goes, and she's shaking her head, and I go, ooh, I'm a Karen out right now.
Was she like upset or was she like
She was
joking?
annoyed. She was annoyed. But it ended on a good note. So what I did, she goes, I can't do replacements. I go, well, let me buy another 4 pods, and I'm going to let you keep these, and you can sell them to another sucker, and I'm going to pay for the new ones on principle.
Oh, so you just didn't even get your money back?
No. And then she goes, okay, well, we can do an exchange, but these pods cost $5 more than these pods, so you can pay the extra 5. The second she said that, I slid her a 10. I said, keep the change.
Why'd you do that?
Because she's just being a little darling. So I gave her, because you know what? She's being rewarded for being a good person. So she probably was just bending the rules a little bit for me. I know a mistake was made, and she deserves $5.
I don't know that she gets to keep that $5.
I let her keep it because she was annoyed, and then she gave in. And you know what? I like to give little treats.
You do.
I will. I give treats.
John gives treats.
I give treats. I come by with ketchup
Every
chips.
day is trick or treat with John. Trick or treat. Every single day.
Either I shit in your
That's
bathroom.
not a Karen moment. I thought you were about to pounce on somebody.
Well,
I thought claws were going to come out.
I literally did say you can keep these old pods. I'm gonna buy the new ones, and you can sell them to another sucker.
Yeah,
I did say that.
I thought he was gonna have like a John Candy moment, like an Uncle Buck, where he's like,
I did. I gave
how
her a
about you
treat.
take this quarter, go downtown, and you pay a rat to nibble off that. What is it? To
Gnaw that thing
off your face. Is referring to this guy's mole or woman's mole.
It was the principal's mole, but
That's
it was
right.
like, I let her keep the 5. I said, you keep the 5 and don't fucking do this again.
Now,
and know
does
that we
Oscar
get
still work there?
Latino
I used
dude?
to know. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he's been working there for
I
years.
love him.
He's a great guy. He let me use the bathrooms once.
He calls me Princessa. He says I'm. He once told Mark. Mark went in there to get some like Doritos or something. And he told Mark, he's like,
How much for the girl?
She's like a movie star. She's the princessa. And I was like, and no one's ever paid me so much respect. Like, no, Latinas show me respect, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
like,
you should go. You should go to like a quinceanera now. Like, you should go to.
Oh,
like,
100%. Yeah,
dude, you'd kill it.
I was
at a
love to go to
quinceanera the other day.
quinceanera. Really?
I went to a quinceanera with City Councilman Isaac Galvan.
What? Why?
I'm friends with
What on earth were you doing there? Did you crash? Did you crash a quinceanera?
No,
You
I was
would do
invited.
some shit like that.
I was
You would
invited.
do some shit like that.
I was
though.
invited by the family.
We should crash a wedding.
We can crash like a million carne asadas and quinceaneras.
I can't believe I've never crashed a wedding. It's actually, it upsets me when I think about it because I have every ability and reason to crash a wedding. Like I could easily do it. Who's like, if you just walk up to a place with confidence, they're not going to question you. They're just going to assume they made the mistake that you're not on the list or something. Like, who's going to think that I'm trying to crash a wedding?
I don't think anyone. The problem with crashing a wedding is when it gets to assigned seating.
Right.
So you got to show up when people are like drunk.
I don't care about the actual ceremony.
I
I just want to be there at the end
For the food.
for the food and for the
you
the
gotta
party,
time it.
the free bar. I'm not there for the nuptials. I don't care about that.
I've been becoming
What a-
friends
what a
with,
bore.
with the Compton City Councilman Isaac Galvan.
Isaac Galvan. How did
and,
you meet him?
He came to my bar, and then 4th of July rolled around. My barbecue plants got pulled out from underneath me, and in my head I went, "What's Isaac up to?" I hit him up. He invited me to his family's carne
We
asada.
also invited you to 4th of July, which you declined to, instead to go to a stranger's house on 4th of July.
Devin was so incensed. This is what happened. Devin invited Joey, and I know he swears he invited me. He did not invite me because he thought I was doing something else. But he's never invited me to meet his family. He's invited Joey to meet his family.
You just wanted to do your own weird thing.
No.
You wanted to have some wacky day with some city council member.
No. I've known Devin since I was 20. He's never invited me to meet his fucking family. But Joey can come meet his family whenever he fucking wants because Joey's a kook. Because Joey's a kook. So I never get invited to fucking visit his fucking family. And so I'm gonna do my own fucking thing, and I had a great time. And
with council member Isaac Galvan.
Who is the man, and I met the owner of Northgate Markets.
What is that?
A big chain of malls in like SoCal. And
Okay.
I hung out
Never
with,
heard of it.
I'm gonna start hanging out. He's good friends with a lot of people in the city. He's an important man. And
Is
I
he
went
friends
to.
with Isaac Galvan?
He's friends with Canelo.
Is that a fighter?
Yeah, he's the best fighter, best
say that
boxer
about
on
every
earth. He's
fighter.
friends with fucking Michael Jackson's son.
Why is it that every fighter is the best fighter?
No, Canelo's
every fighter's
Canelo's a very good.
undefeated.
Canelo's a very.
I just
fucking
love
good
how
boxer.
every fighter's
there's a
like,
lot of-
we're
there's a lot
undefeated.
of
I'm like, so has
undefeated
anyone
fighters.
ever been defeated? Has anyone ever lost a fight?
Well, the interesting thing is when you get two guys who are undefeated fighting each other. That's when
Right,
the
someone
stakes are high, 'cause
inevitably
somebody's gonna
gets
lose.
defeated. But then, are the stakes really high? Because either way, you're walking away with like $100 million
Yeah,
for like
if
a
you're not-
single fight.
you know
which
what's
is
crazy,
which is it's part of what is so nauseating to me. And I'm sorry if it's petty. Part of what's so nauseating, and I do like boxing. I do enjoy boxing.
Boxing's a very good sport.
But I do not care for MMA. And part of what I just don't, I find it to be
Too violent.
it's just gross. Yeah, it's gross. It's and you know
You're
what?
hilarious.
Like I think it's bordering on you know, there's definitely a lot of homoeroticism, which I have no problem with at all, but this idea that it's like such a manly whatever. It doesn't look it at all. The optics are completely fucked. Boxing looks manly. There's
Yeah.
no like
But
laying.
what you don't like
there's
is
no
grappling.
laying down and getting spread eagle in boxing. There's none of that. There's no like let's do the splits. Oh, you have to punch me. It's like really you feel like
Well-
you're getting like you look like you're getting fucked in the ass. Which nothing wrong with that, but I like authenticity and honesty, and I want there to be more honesty in MMA about the undercurrent of what's really going on. And I know that this is kind of probably hack, and a lot of women say this, but a lot of women say it because it's what we see. We don't know what's going on. We just know what we see, and what we see is two men fucking.
Well, if you knew a little bit about grappling, the thing
God,
about
I don't.
striking is amazing. You can kill a guy striking. You can kill a guy
Striking.
striking is boxing and kickboxing and hitting people. You can kill a guy striking, but when you get
don't
to
like that
grappling,
either. I
when
don't
you
like
get
to
when you
kill.
get to the ground game where guys are 69ing each other and shit,
Yeah.
that's when grappling is about maiming and killing.
Right.
Like every move in grappling every submission in grappling ends with someone being seriously maimed or killed. That's what's so manly about grappling.
Do they enjoy it? Getting
Well,
killed?
there is
Because some
there is-
people, like
I
David
have-
Carradine, seem to enjoy
I have
the way he went. You can die and enjoy
I'll
it.
tell you right now, since I started jiu-jitsu, there have been several times
Where you've been autoerotic asphyxiated?
I've been autoerotic asphyxiated.
Thank God you made it.
Not like I wasn't turned on when it happened, but I definitely
Right.
had that adrenaline rush. I've been choked to the point where I stand up and I'm like, woo! Like,
Did
it's
you
crazy.
accidentally say don't stop?
I was like, Daddy. No, there are times like there are guys that take it way too seriously. Like my buddy, this dude I work with is actually a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and this guy was choking him out one time, and the guy was saying in his ear while he was choking him out was saying, "Are you getting mad? Are you getting fucking mad?" Mm-hmm. And the dude was telling me the story, like, "What? Why the fuck would you say that to me? Like, it's so mean. Like, it's such a mean. It's a mean thing to say to a teammate. Like, it's like if you're rolling with a guy, you're supposed
Not
to
as mean as punching him in the balls, which I assume happens as well.
Don't be like, you mad? It's weird. It's fucking weird. Like we're here practicing.
But isn't
it's a
that the whole
friendly,
point?
fun
Isn't
environment.
shit talking like a fundamental in
What
this?
you do, the best way to shit talking while grappling is be gay. So what I told him next time that guy does that to
Moan
you.
instead.
Yeah, next time that guy does that to you, just say, no, I'm getting horny.
Okay,
And then they
that's
freak out.
really weird, John.
Like I will sometimes, like me and my buddies, and like I'll be like, come here, daddy. Like it's great.
Right. I rest my case.
Anyways,
I rest my
grappling
case.
is the manliest shit on earth. It kicks ass. Suplexing. I've never suplexed anybody, but I fireman tossed a guy, and it's the coolest thing on earth.
Why?
I'm literally like a ninja.
Fireman tossed?
So if somebody's running at you,
Does that not sound like a sexual innuendo?
for sure. So
Fireman tossed?
it's when you grab. It's
No
when
further
you throw
questions, Your
someone- It's when
Honor.
you roll someone over your shoulders, and it's sick.
Yeah, sick.
It's so sick. But what was I gonna get to? Isaac Galvan. Isaac Galvan's great. He's putting together a big. Actually, he's putting together a couple of concerts. For Ice Cube, and we're gonna promote them. I'm gonna be promoting them.
Well, while I was waiting for
And
John,
we can
I was getting
meet
drunk.
Ice Cube. We can meet Ice Cube.
Wait, hold on. What? I can meet Ice Cube?
Yeah, you can come.
Well, Ice Cube has been talking
Isaac-
about Kanye recently, so like I would love to do that.
Yeah, so you can come. So he's got two concerts. One's in one's in
I'm trying to be the new Nick Fuentes, and not in like I don't want to be a white supremacist. I just want to be like the new part of Kanye's
So
cohort.
Isaac is putting on. There's gonna be two Ice Cube concerts.
I think I could legitimately make contributions to what he's doing.
Well, I think one's in like Southgate. The other one's gonna be in Stockton, and we're gonna go to the one in Stockton. We're gonna meet the Diaz brothers. We're gonna meet Ice Cube.
And you for sure are gonna
DJ
meet
Quit.
Ice Cube.
He literally, I was at the Quinceañera, and Isaac was like, "Just promote it on your podcast. I'll give you guys like backstage tickets and shit." So we're gonna-
To meet Ice Cube. And this
Yeah,
is a
we're
real
gonna meet
council
Ice
member.
Cube. Yes,
and he's not
Isaac
homeless.
Galvan. No, he's Isaac Galvan. He's the man.
John has like a cohort of homeless friends, and so I never know. When he says like council member, I assume that's one of the homeless people's nicknames. I assume he just goes like by
I'm
councilman.
a street councilman. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's probably the
important people,
councilman
too.
within his own little like, community, makeshift community.
I meet important people, and like we're gonna meet the Diaz brothers. We're gonna meet DJ Quick. We're gonna meet Ice Cube. It's gonna be sick.
DJ who?
Quick.
Who is that?
He's like a rapper. What did he do? I'm not gonna play it, but I just want to look it up.
Yeah.
DJ Quick. Yeah, DJ Quick.
With just a K.
Yeah. All the smoke. I don't know what tonight is.
I wish we could play it, but we can't. But leave it up. Leave it up because I will listen to it afterwards.
Yeah, in like the 90s, he was like a rapper.
Well, what was I going to say to you? I would go to meet Ice Cube. I like Ice Cube.
I've met Ice Cube before. I'm going to meet him again. I'm going to show him a picture of him.
When did you meet him?
I was at a Lakers game, and I took pictures with him because he was in the balcony suite next to us. And when I took pictures with him, his security guard looked at me and my two other incredibly white friends and said, "No gang signs."
No gang signs?
And I was like, dude, okay.
Yeah,
and
John was about to throw up.
Like, I have a picture of us with him. I can find it.
Really? Okay, well, was he nice?
Super nice. He had an afro at the time.
Amazing. Yeah, I would love to meet him. I've been getting drunk while I was waiting for you, listening to...
For you.
Yeah, and you know what? The guy that you sent me, John sent me a UFO. So Sean Ryan, who was the Sean Ryan I was talking to you about? The director, not the director, Sean Ryan.
No,
Sean Ryan that has a very prominent UFO centric podcast.
It's not UFO centric. It's like he interviews a lot of different people, but the last couple episodes have been UFO centric.
Now here's what made me I was bugging a little when I was looking at his Wikipedia, because of course, anytime.
I'm going to look at it with you.
Yeah. So he was interviewing this gentleman, Michael Herrera, who, to be honest, I think is kind of a fake.
I'm going to get into that as well.
I listened to almost all of the interview. This is part 1 of, I believe, a 3-part that they're going to do on, go to YouTube. He had like a... So what I don't like is that he's like a former CIA contractor, whatever that means.
He was in the CIA.
What does that mean? There is no such thing as former CIA. Like, I just don't. That's an oxymoron to me. I just don't even understand how that could be. But I love the way they phrased it. They're like, CIA contractor. I'm like, right, okay. Fun fact, one of our listeners thinks I'm CIA, and never have I been more flattered in my life. I'm like, why you think they would have me? Although, like, they do be having some like useful idiots.
Yeah.
It's okay. It was really long. It was just kind of in the middle. But nonetheless, I was flattered that he thinks that I would even have a fighting chance at becoming intelligence. Not that I'd ever accept anything like that. Of course, now me saying it is gonna have he's gonna just like his.
You and Sean Ryan are CIA, so.
No, Sean Ryan is CIA.
He was a former CIA contractor.
Broke. It's like a different. Although they might not have very much money either. The what is it? The CIA work. I mean, they're off government pension here. Although, like, they could be direct depositing some money to themselves through, shell companies and front companies and what have you. So who knows? Who knows where the stream of income really comes from? But I'm now wondering if this is our Patreon episode. I believe it is. I kind of liked that we did the switcheroo last time.
I think we ramp up.
Yeah.
By the time we get to our Patreon.
And I like that it's a little bit more personal and dialed back sometimes for the Patreon, because I feel like it's less, not that the public is really that performative, but I feel like it is less performative.
Well, why don't we just...
it's more personal.
Why don't we just... basically, for the next couple episodes, we're going to make the Patreon episode the public and the public episode the Patreon.
I've done that, though.
Yeah, I know. So we can do it for this one, and we just want to remind people that if you really like our public episodes where we talk about like serious topics, subscribe to the Patreon.
Correct.
And if those people who aren't a part of the Patreon, if you listen to the public episode, that's what the Patreon's like. It's like way more laid back, shit like that.
And I try to always make it clear, like, whenever the intended episode was for Patreon, when I post that as the public, because, and I've only done it a couple times, but it's a different vibe. It's a little bit of a different vibe, but it's kind of the same. I don't know. It's kind of the same vibe. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. Okay, so I'll keep the writer's strike for the public. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So the UFO guy, his name is...
Michael Herrera.
Michael Herrera. I gotta say, and there was a comment that I screenshot on YouTube because it kind of encapsulated the feeling I was getting of doubt from this guy. And this guy was, again, let me also just say, I listened to about an hour of this hour and a half interview, which is a part 1 interview. And it's called, if anybody wants to watch it, it's, let me double check on. I love how you also sent me the one on Apple Podcasts when there's like full ass video on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I was with Ivy the other day and we're like, yeah, we don't like when it's just audio. Like, I do like when it's just audio, but I have to like get in the groove of it. I'm like, oh, there's video? Like, show me the video. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know if they're twiddling their thumbs while they're talking. Of course, my Wi-Fi is being ridiculous. Okay, so it was U.S. Marine Encounters UFO Black Ops Human Trafficking Operation Part 1. I mean, this is posted yesterday. It already has 818,000 views. God damn, they're amazing. Okay, so this comment somebody wrote, and it kind of struck a chord with me.
Do you want to pull it up on the...
Yeah, pull it up.
Pull it up.
So, and I'll turn the screen on for you. Okay, so basically it says, this guy is so full of shit. It's always a dead giveaway when they focus on unimportant details or when they get asked a question where they couldn't even have a rehearsed answer in their head ready to spit out. They feel compelled to just spit out when they asked a question where they couldn't have a rehearsed answer in their head ready to spit out, they feel compelled to just spit out word salads of nonsensical information. They always overcomplicate their own stories because they feel it lends them more credence when in fact it detracts from their stories. I agree with that. Dude also doesn't have a single other person with him that can corroborate his story. That is a little odd. And the super secret human abducting black wearing army dudes would have been running silencers with their kits if their goal was stealth. All our small teams and conventional forces run silencers, but these
I believe
guys...
he said he ran silencers.
Now, what does that even mean, run silencers?
They have silencers on their weapons. Suppressors.
Like a cattle prod.
No, sound suppressors on their weapons. The big giant tubes.
So it's like a gunshot without the sound.
It just, they actually don't. It makes it sound like, instead of sounding like a gunshot, it just sounds like this. Or like a book hitting a table. It doesn't sound as intense as a gunshot. Right. People think it sounds like, but it doesn't sound like that. It just muffles a gunshot to the point where
Isn't
it could be
a cattle
mistaken.
prod completely silent though?
A cattle prod is like a fucking taser.
Yeah, it's silent though. It kills you, doesn't it?
No.
What is the
a silencer is?
What does Anton Chigurh kill people with?
That's different.
That's a cattle prod.
No, you think that thing shoots stuff. It doesn't shoot stuff.
People in cold blood.
It shoots something this long into your brain and then it goes out and retracts.
What the fuck is that?
You got that so wrong.
Hold on a second.
Okay, so that thing Anton Chigurh uses, it's literally like, it shoots a rod this long.
Like, ping, and then you're dead.
It shoots a rod that long out and back really quickly.
Anton Chigurh was just giving everybody Neuralink.
Basically, he's pumping a hole in your brain. What's killing you with Anton Chigurh is the piece of your skull that's firing through your brain at that length.
All right. No, silently.
Yeah, that's completely silent.
But is that a silencer? No.
No, a silencer actually shoots a projectile that can kill you at hundreds of meters away.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
So he says all our small teams
weapon.
In conventional forces run silencers, but these guys let them live.
That's false, but yeah, continue.
Because if they shot them, it would be too loud. David Greer is also full of complete shit, which you've alluded to yourself as well. And the only name this guy has to lean on, I smell book deals and money grabs. I can't wait till the real UAP information comes out of Congress so we can deplatform these grifters. And speaking of, Chuck Schumer, surprisingly, is like heading some new thing where they're breaking new UFO stuff. There were these forms that they like. There's now verbiage. There's now official verbiage. Like transmedium is like a term referring to like UFOs coming in and out of the water, and they have different verbiage for all of the different varieties of phenomenon that they've seen and verified throughout the years. And so now there's like an active force within Congress that's heading this new investigation. And basically it's just about pushing and prodding and poking at different facets of the deep state, essentially, of the intelligence agencies, of the Pentagon, of the military, to finally just come out with it and give us something real, something meaningful, something significant, something tangible that we can actually sink our teeth into and not be made to feel crazy by the government, which is what has happened traditionally for years and years. And so we have like a guy like, he's the fucking Senate majority leader, minority leader, whatever. He, you have the one of the most powerful voices in the Senate heading this movement, I think that's pretty significant.
So
Chuck Schumer for all
it's huge.
faults,
And also, here's the thing.
Might be a diversion away from fucking his wrongdoing, but who knows?
Here's the significant thing: is these guys are these are Stephen Greer's whistleblowers. If you know anything about Stephen Greer,
Is
he's
it
a
David
huckster.
Greer or Stephen Greer?
Dr. Stephen Greer.
There's two different Greers. All right.
Dr. Stephen Greer loves talking about how he's a doctor constantly and every fucking thing he says. The thing about Greer is Greer is a bit of a huckster.
Yes.
Greer is a bit of a
comments
huckster.
were eviscerating him.
Greer is a bit of a huckster. But the thing is he's bringing, these are Greer's whistleblowers that Sean Ryan is interviewing. Mm-hmm. These guys are people Greer has found, and this guy is a very similar story to the one we watched previously, the Josh guy in Panama, where he went and found that UFO that crashed.
That guy was more believable, and I was a little mean to him.
He was a little mean, but this guy also at the same time was just an infantry marine, and from what I understand, when they looked up his DD 214, his paperwork.
I love how all these UFO terms are going to be like, right, the DD 214.
DD 212, I think it's 214.
Yeah.
But they no, it was about his military background.
Right.
They first of all, the guy talking about special forces units don't always run silencers, and silencers actually can affect a weapon in a way that you don't want it to affect a weapon. And
I would like a silencer.
they're legal in California, but you can make one out of an oil filter, so it doesn't really matter.
Can I 3D print one?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. I think you can 3D print the internals of one, and then you just put like a steel casing around it.
Okay.
You just buy some pipe from Home Depot.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
This guy, he referred to an M4 as an M4A4, which is kind of a weird thing to refer to an M4 as.
What?
An M4 is an assault rifle.
John is wearing his gun store shirt today.
Wearing my gun store shirt today.
Was that made for you?
No, I got this at the gun store in Las Vegas.
Love.
The thing about when people nitpick the military terminology and stuff like that, yeah, you can nitpick it. This guy was a Marine.
Well, it is just really easy to spout off a bunch of those terms
Nobody
and
really knows.
confuse people, and then you just are left to your own devices of I guess he knows what he's talking about. He's saying a bunch of shit a bunch of gibberish
Sean Ryan
that I don't understand.
Sean Ryan isn't pushing back on these guys the way Joe Rogan would push back on these guys.
And that's a problem.
And the number two thing though is Sean Ryan is a Navy SEAL. He's a former Navy SEAL.
Sean Ryan is literally CIA.
He's also a former CIA contractor and a former Navy SEAL. I think if like
a lot of views, bro. It's a lot of views.
It's
a little sus. And how long has he been around, and why have I not heard of him before?
I like him. I've listened to him for a while.
I like him too. He's a very likable guy. I also, what I really love about him and what really makes me think maybe he is intelligent is he's like, and not really actually, this is very cool.
He's a great voice.
He's got a great broadcasting voice, but in the beginning he says, for all the content creators out there, and I was like, of course, I lit up. I was like, oh yeah, what do you have for me? A little treat for me, a little cheese for me. And he goes, we have a Google Drive file in the description box because we know you're going to be sharing this. Please, and I thought he was going to say, don't use our shit. And he said, like, to my surprise, please use our shit. We actually have provided you Google files to a bunch of usable clips, Google Drive files for a bunch of usable clips that you can use in your content creation. As long as you credit the show, please go ahead, use it, which is great because they're like,
should we use that instead of
the news,
use the YouTube?
Well, that's for a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
This just came out. And here's the other thing. This guy looks like Sean Astin, who is talking.
He does look like Sean Astin.
He looks a lot like Sean Astin. And Sean Astin has gained a few LBs, but good for Sean Astin for going in the writer's strike and like saying some real shit. I like him. And we'll get into the writer's strike on the public episode. But this guy looks just like him. And here's my other thought and my other big takeaway is, why is every former military fat? Why are they all fat,
they work
John?
out all the time and they get out and they're like, I can eat whatever I want.
Is it because they all ate whatever they wanted like during wartime or whatever and then like burned it off so it was okay, and then once they stopped doing that they're like suddenly getting fat?
No, it's because they all joined at 18. They were jacked at 18. They were like eating what the military gave them, which sucked. And then or whatever, and then they get out and they're like, they're just fat.
They could have Pizza Hut back then and like burn it off.
Yeah, Sean Ryan's jacked, so...
Yeah.
All right, it's right here. Just play from where it's at right
CIA.
now.
Yes, he can't be fat.
He can't be
Going
fat.
back to the event, we decided to get in a tactical column and approach this, right? And we got down the slope, and it's just like a clearing and just has this big opening. It's almost a little bit more than the football field because this craft took up majority of that.
So let's just back up for a
Yeah.
minute. Let's describe the setting, because at first you said there were helos doing racetracks
Yes.
around.
Oh, also, throughout the interview, let's just, again, I was listening while I was like kind of running around, so there's a chance I might have missed a little detail here and there, but I'm pretty good. Like, if I'm in tune with something, I'm like, I'm rewinding if I don't hear something or if I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I want to know every detail. This time it was a little bit less that, so maybe it's on me, but they talked about this human trafficking. They went right into the story, right? In a way where I'm like, okay, when they kept referring to these black op human traffickers as they, and I'm like, okay, can we make the distinction that they're not aliens? Like, are you referring to human beings or are you referring to aliens?
Stephen Greer's big thing is that
it wasn't a clear enough distinction. Yeah, we've reverse engineered craft, and Lockheed Martin is capable of basically
and there's a
reverse
shadow
engineering
government using
Right.
UFOs to transport human beings and to traffic them. 'Cause
Correct.
That's the only way they can effectively get money. But here's
and
the
they look
deal.
like F-22s, which Lockheed Martin makes, and it's like, you know, they're that octagonal, almost
It's
like
silly.
triangular shape, you know, very very angular, you know, that kind of thing.
It's crazy, but the thing is these guys are testifying to Congress under oath.
Yeah, so
I know, but that's like wild, bro. Like, there's not a lot of people who are like, I'll keep this lie up. Like, you'd find an excuse.
the
not
only
to-
reason not to testify truthfully under oath is if you know for sure you can get away with it.
Yeah, and I think maybe these
No
guys
one
think they
cares
get away with
about
it, but
like, you know, hand to God. Like, no one cares
I'm
about
just,
that.
what's the next interview gonna be? It's
I
gonna be
mean,
wild.
no. Listen, this one right here. The fact that he's done 3 parts.
Wait, don't
with
fast
this guy,
forward it.
Yeah,
'cause
all right.
we have it at a right area.
All right.
Is this the same opening that you described earlier that you were watching helos drop supplies?
No.
Okay.
So where this was happening was Southwest, at least where the helo
Too many
insertion
rings
points
on his
were
finger.
with the LZs.
He's
that
got
they
a
were set
kick-ass
up. And they were
office.
flying very low in consideration, right?
It's paid for by your tax
So, and
dollars.
the reason
Yeah.
why I know
How
this
do
is
you
because
feel
I
about
asked
that?
the pilots after this because there was
By the way, remember when you said I didn't know anything about motorcycles?
Yeah.
That's a V-twin engine right there. That's a V-twin
You
engine.
already proved yourself. Proved to me that you did.
Continue.
Now I believe again that you don't.
That's a
respectfully
V-twin
saying
engine.
something strange.
in his office, which is so manly
So
and
I was
cool.
trying to see if
Very
they could get a
good.
view of the top side because this is just something
Gold
that's
star for you.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Sean
So,
asked him.
Also, their call signs all stuck out too, you know, because pilots like to do crazy stuff with their call signs, so it was very easy to track them down. But having this happen on the north part of the slope and it goes down, and obviously, you know, the way it was transitioning colors, which was kind of the way that it appealed because it was transitioning for a light matte
He also seems like
black-
he's on
or no,
just like
sorry,
a little
light matte
bump
gray
at
to a dark matte
coke or
black, just kind
something,
of ranging
or
between.
he's kind of tweaking.
This guy's a
dude.
huckster.
He's a complete huckster. I had the, but you know what? It didn't stop me from listening to
That's a
him.
great
I
story.
still got through like an
Great
hour and
story.
10 minutes. I have no problem with you lying about it. Just a little warning off top. Be like, hey, this is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing I'm saying can be confirmed or validated or corroborated by say another human being. Nonetheless, we're going to do 3 parts, and each of them are going to get close to around 1 million views, or if not more.
Well, it's so frustrating because like there are legit people out there.
100%. And that's what this
the
is.
other
This is a
thing-
diversion away from the. If I had to guess, that's what my guess would be.
It's frustrating because maybe I just think he's a huckster because it's just so ridiculous sounding.
It's so ridiculous,
And
sounding,
what if-
but
what
I
if
think
it's
the Greers and the Herreras and people like this, I think what they do, I think the purpose of something like this that gets 818,000 views, I think it's almost to oversaturate the UFO community or whatever content world with so much insane content that you almost don't even know what to do with the information you've been given because there's just so much of it. You're just so bombarded with different accounts, different stories, different, whatever, that almost like deciphering who's a grifter and who isn't is such a daunting task that you essentially just kind of give up and say, well, whatever. And then you stop looking into it. And I think that's part of it. But I don't know. Again, I'm not smart enough to really be able to
It's just like
decipher what the motives are here.
yeah, and the thing is like I know Greer's making money off of it. I don't think
He is,
Herrera's
right?
making money off of it. So
Not
why
that
is he
we know
lying?
of. Yeah, and what is
And-
his current occupation?
Herrera's probably like a fucking high school basketball coach. So let's talk
Yeah,
about
he is fat enough to be a high school
I know.
basketball.
Let's
coach.
talk about
Or maybe football. I feel like the basketball coaches actually are always very lean and tall, like Rick Carlisle, who's who's not a nice guy, by the way.
Okay.
Kind of a prick.
This is...
To his own kids, too. I've witnessed it.
First of all, let's keep in mind, Stephen Greer is almost 70 years old.
Well, then we love him because he's such a cute old man.
No, he looks so good. Look at him.
Oh, yeah, he looks good. That's because lying keeps you alive.
I know.
It just really
Well, that's
keeps the
another
endorphins.
He's also
up.
culture
jacked.
term that's been attached to a series of
He's an
projects.
alien.
Have you seen
that
Stephen Greer with
involve,
that shirt on?
What
He's lying. The thing he hasn't told us is he's actually descended from another planet and just taken
Hold on.
taken residence here.
We're going to get a little gay right now.
I love how we've played 5-second increments
I
of this. It's better than playing it for the whole episode, right? Wouldn't you rather us have something to say?
I know.
Given that you're here. I just love the term ufologist. It just so
I'm a
it just
ufologist.
so delegitimizes everything that we're
Look
supposed
at
to.
how jacked Stephen Greer is, dude.
Yeah, not in a way that looks good.
I mean,
he's
come
on.
Like,
It's one of
look
the-
at him, bro. Look at how jacked Stephen Greer is, bro. The guy's a
So you
monster.
can get some people jacked to the nines, and you still can't make them grow a shoulder.
I mean,
to save their life, there's still no
face is
shoulder.
so
And you know what
gross.
else I will say? I hate the trap muscles. I fucking hate trap muscles. I think they're horrific
neck
and
one?
disgusting. Oh, gross.
I need big traps. I want big traps and big
gross.
arms.
It's so disgusting. It's such a turn off. I should have said that in our last episode when we were sitting there like giving Michael Phelps's 2008
Yeah.
body like an autopsy essentially. Like I should have made it very clear the trap muscles that he lacked just part of what made him so attractive. Anyways,
Interesting.
Pentagon,
I digress.
what they call a deceptive indication and warning, or a false
How do we get to
INW,
Greer?
which is a false flag.
We're watching the Greer because Greer's
and it's
insane.
the ability
Right.
to stage through very advanced
But everyone's on to him now,
technologies.
so they're moving on to
An
Herrera.
alien
Herrera's
attack.
the new Greer.
Herrera's Greer's man.
Oh fuck!
He's
They're-
Greer's whistleblower.
Oh what?
He's one of the. I said this before. All the people he's interviewing are whistleblowers Greer's bringing to Congress.
Oh what?
Yeah.
Bro? So Sean Ryan's like fully supporting this guy and doesn't really like
And
put
it's
his
a whole-
feet to the fire and
He's not putting his feet to the fire. There's like,
So is Sean Ryan accused of being a spook? Is my next question.
dude. This look at.
I also don't know why you would ever. Here's the other thing: if you're going to market your podcast to people, and in the description you're going to say former CIA contractor, you're going for the dumber people of the population who don't realize that there's no such thing as former CIA.
No.
That is embedded into that advertising technique because anybody that doesn't want to be associated with the CIA stank, if you will, okay, would never come out and say, I was a CIA contractor, as if something like that even really exists and then goes away. It doesn't. Once a spy, always a spy. This is definitely our Patreon episode, 1000%.
Whatever.
And I'm very flattered that somebody would accuse somebody like me of being a part of it because like I said, I would love nothing more than to be some new age Matahari, but I also obviously would not love to do that because I don't care about anything ideologically enough to ever risk my life for it. That's for damn sure. I've seen enough people make that mistake, namely a lot of Iranians that are much older than me and made a lot of mistakes during the revolution. So I've learned from their mistakes and I would rather just, do my hair and my nails and like watch TV than ever fucking give any part of my life to any of this shit. What a nightmare.
I know
I'd
you guys
rather-
didn't know this, but for the last 6 months, Ida's been flying back and forth between
From
here in
Langley.
Langley, Virginia, and she's been going through the CIA pipeline. She's jogging in the woods while
I do have
cadre.
fantasies about it because it'd be
Yeah.
so fun. I'd really be like in a movie.
You in like a sweatsuit, like jogging through the woods.
The juicy
and, like,
sweatpants.
It's not gonna be juicy,
Here's what
bro.
I would do if I was in the CIA. Can I just say? I would start psyops where I would just create the fashion trends and they would all just be things that are very customizable to my taste.
That's the most fucking
I would bring the
thing
juicy
I've ever heard
sweatsuits
in my
back
life.
in, and then I would just like go tell my supervisor that it's part of some long game,
Some ex-Navy SEAL
to like
cadre.
get oil reserves in the Middle
Yeah.
East, and we need the juicy sweatsuits in order to bait the Saudis. Like I would turn it into some I would try to legitimize my very meaningless but meaningful to me motives that kind of all relate to hair, nails, makeup.
He's like, climb the rope,
fun-
Ida.
fun
Ring the
stuff.
bell, Ida. Ring the bell at the top of the rope, Ida.
Yeah, I'd be like Cadet Kelly, which is a old Disney Channel original movie starring
Cadet.
Hilary Duff. But yeah, it would be that, or I would try to like become a director. I'd try to like gather resources and funds. This guy's like, they're trying to make this schizo, who I love, by the way, because I thought it was this is
Herrera?
Should I just read what he sent to me? No, this
Oh,
guy.
yeah, read what he sent to you.
Because I was so flat. I was like, you think I'm CIA? Like, that's so thank you. Like,
You're just so
I
excited to be
really,
accused of being CIA.
Yeah, because I'm about to go be a server again. So I'm like, this is so nice. Like, thank you so much. It's really sweet. And he like sent me multiple DMs. I'd never opened his DM because I'm like going through my DMs and like responding to people, because the reason I don't respond to messages is because I want to respond to everybody in such a thoughtful way that I end up getting overwhelmed, even though I don't have that many messages. Like, I just want to respond to people in a thoughtful way, and so sometimes I feel like I can't open them all and do that. So he says, so I said, this was a reply to me, like some story I posted a while ago about like Beetlejuice being my favorite movie as a kid, and it was my favorite movie. He says, oh my God, love that was your favorite movie. I really want to know more about you. Something doesn't add up. something doesn't add up in a good way. As in, you come across as, in all caps, genius. And I'm like, right. Okay.
Yeah, relax, buddy.
Yeah. And it says some nice compliments about me, and then says, but also with a genuine taste and sort of the natural je ne sais quoi type real.
I love these guys who love using like.
Yeah, your
Like-
joie de vivre
like-
really
like,
reeks of intelligence agency.
Your omelette du fromage
Your
is just
croissant,
Omelette
du fromage. Yeah, it says
Ida likes dumb people, dude.
I do. I love dumb
Yeah,
people.
she doesn't like smart dudes.
Yeah.
Hey, all thirsty guys out there, Ida likes dudes who speak like himbos. She likes them
Right.
big and stupid.
Big and retarded.
Yeah.
Big fat fucking boobs. Yeah. Big fat ass. Says,
Ida likes 500-pound men. You're gonna get like.
I
a
love
bunch of
fat gay
big
men.
fat-
I've said this. I love fat gay men. If you ever lose weight, you're off the show.
Oh God.
John, you can't.
Yeah, no,
Come on.
fat and gay.
We have an image to uphold here.
I know.
All right. And given that I'm CIA, the stakes are very high.
Yeah, you're just
okay.
gonna execute me with a heart attack gun one night.
with a cat with a silencer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beetlejuice being oh yeah, I love how me saying that I love Beetlejuice is the big indication, the big smoking gun that I'm intelligent is my Tim Burton movie obsession from when I was a child in the 7th grade or I'm sorry, when I was 7 years old. It says Beetlejuice being further evidence type of he says genuine taste and the sort of natural je ne sais quoi type real thing that people have. Beetlejuice being further evidence of taste, etc. Anyways, only thing I can think is either one, slight autism in sarcastic joking type way, so I'm either autistic, of not being able to really put it together, or two, some deep-seated long-term plan with Tim Dillon and some esoteric branch of the intelligence community psyop team, an alt-right type universe of Dillon and Rogan and those influence operator guys to make the whole progression of Ida look natural. And that's because I don't have the numbers yet to back up his big theory.
Yeah,
And
this,
so I respect that he thinks like, well, the only thing you're missing is an audience. And I'm like, right. So it's not real. Like, because the CIA people, it's like, they're not even that. They don't even good. They don't do some natural progression anymore. Like, they're just like, oh, here's, I don't want to say the name. It's like, here's this big person. You've never heard of him, but he has 1 million views on everything. And it says, anyways, I don't care that much either way. But
Yeah, I bet you don't.
But so want to know more about you and like fam history. Always interesting fam history for people like you. And anyway, I'm just a tiny bit drunk and good mood. And
God, dude.
I like him. Listen, I don't even mind messages like that. Do you know what that does for my ego?
I bet.
For somebody to just accuse me of being in the CIA, as though I haven't read like 1 million different books. And like, I would love nothing more personally than to just like spend a week in DC and, walk around, Foggy Bottom or like, Georgetown or something and just like, meet some deep state fucking goon and have him take me to like a gourmet grilled cheese eatery or something. And then poke and prod at his brain and try to ask him about like, Cuba or something. I would love to do that, but it's like that would be a sport for me. Like for me, that's like that would be as fun as like going to the mall, like And I told him, I was like, well, I would obviously, and then finally I responded, I was like, well, obviously I would declare. I was like, first of all, I'm flattered and equally terrified, but like, I'm flattered that you think I'm CIA, but I would be terrified if they ever approached me. And obviously I would decline an offer like that. He's like, He's like,
You would totally
right.
take up an offer
No, I wouldn't, dude.
to join
Are
the
you
National
joking
Clandestine
me?
Service. You
No.
would fucking, I would be out there like Jason Bourne, like doing like
No,
doing
dude.
land. Can we watch this
I
one?
can't
Can
even
we watch
get
this
up
one
early.
thing?
Like, you think I'm gonna fucking like?
I know, you wouldn't be able to
what
get
I'm
up.
saying? Like, get out.
Can we watch it? This is the most popular part of the
yes.
Stephen Greer
Sorry
podcast.
for my narcissistic CIA corner
okay.
over here. It's my gun corner.
Any legitimacy on anything unless
My silencer corner.
Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC,
Right.
unless they touch it, nobody.
Right.
I'm not going to say nobody because there's a growing. The population that doesn't believe in the mainstream media is just continuously getting larger.
It's probably half the population. Yeah.
But why do you think? I mean, that would be the biggest story in the world.
He even has his own water
We've
bottles.
recovered an
It's so
ET
legit.
craft
We gotta
with
do that.
bodies. And
Get our
every
own water
on
bottle
every
labels.
news network, they're all
Liquid
covering
death.
it, and then just like that, it's gone. No photos, no nothing. What happened? Why do you think it just disappeared?
Well, we know why. I mean, in 2001, when we did the first National Press Club event, we had a guy who was on a team that, for several years in the 60s, retrieved the bodies and the craft. And he spoke, and he had all of his information there. His name is Sergeant Clifford Stone. He's in our archive. Go look at it. So the people we just had at the National Press Club, a decorated YouTube pilot.
And this guy's
who
way more
encountered these
believable than
objects
Herrera
in the
to me.
60s, 70s.
Just
Greer's
on the basis
very
of
practiced.
his persona and his demeanor and such. Anyway, sorry.
In these 80s, worked at the Lockheed operations and Skunk Work interface with Ben Rich directly, personally. He didn't get to go into that. But these guys are all available to give testimony. These are firsthand. David Grush was secondhand. He never was principally involved. Stephen Digna, there was with two Raytheon guys with these man-made Raytheon devices. D.C. Long was in an underground facility out on the Range 19 with some Delta guys, took his dad in, who was a contractor, and they accidentally saw this system levitating a 100-ton concrete block up in the air, along with some giant boulders. Absolutely true. And we had people who were, at other operations that we brought. Now, those are all 100%. Every one of our 750 Disclosure Project folks are firsthand witnesses, meaning that they weren't people trying to find out like David Grush was. They're people who actually were in there. Interesting that the media won't interview them.
It is.
Though, if they really want to know the truth, why would you want to talk to a field operator who didn't have firsthand information and skip over the people who actually touched the things, saw them? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the public has to ask the question very quickly. How do we get the truth out? I think we're asking everyone to write their member of Congress and their
They
two
always say that.
senators
It's
and
a
the White
douche
House.
anything.
It's an activist responsibility as a citizen of the United States, and refer to the National Press Club event and the Disclosure Project archive, because we've sent all this in.
Now, has
and
Rogan
say,
interviewed
now
this
we
guy?
need to see action taken.
No, Rogan's interviewed Bob Lazar though.
Don't people say he's a liar too? Yeah. So what's the deal? Like,
So
what is
Bob
what is the
Lazar? It was
fucking
Bob
deal?
Lazar. A lot of his claim. Here's the big problem. Bob Lazar is Bob Lazar refuses, which I think is legit. A legit thing to do is Bob Lazar has refused to debate people that were in his supposed field of physics that he claims to be a
Is he a physicist?
yeah, he claimed to be a physicist working at SR-71, which was the part in Area 51 where they keep.
Now, you can't claim to be a physicist, right? This is a credentialed career.
There are no. He says he went to
Yeah.
MIT, but
Right,
but,
there would
but
be
also,
transcripts of his.
Well,
there
those
would
were
be
easily
proof.
back then. It was all like paper and shit. So you could
Yeah,
have
they're
very
still
easily
filed
gotten,
away somewhere.
the CIA could have gotten rid of him.
I mean, I guess,
They
but is
legitimize
he? Are
him.
people claiming he's CIA?
People are claiming that he's been fucked with by intelligence agencies and they've gotten rid of all of his records.
No, that's very possible.
Which is very possible.
Sure.
Stephen Greer is a bit of a huckster, but it's like,
I don't know.
I'm just afraid as to. James Fox seems to be the one who's the most legit.
Mm-hmm.
because he's not saying he can communicate with aliens with his minds. He's not talking about reptilians and shit. But I think Stephen Greer is. I think if Sean Ryan is a current CIA asset, then interviewing Stephen Greer is going to do a lot to delegitimize ufology.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But here's the thing, John, is that like this video has 1.3 million views. It was posted 8 days ago. Okay, that's some fucking numbers, right? And
he's a very popular podcast.
Let's just do a little experiment here, right? Let's just look up Sean Ryan, not the director, all right?
He doesn't have a
Sean
Wikipedia.
Ryan, if that's your real name. Oh, and I love how they conveniently give him the same name as some famous screenwriter. That's probably just a coincidence. So who he doesn't have a Wikipedia? What? He's doing 1.3 million in a week on YouTube. No fucking Wikipedia. What kind of world is this? It says, yeah. The only way to find out about him is to go to his website. That's odd.
Well, he's been around for a long time. I've seen.
Well, then he should have a Wikipedia page, or maybe there was a Wikipedia page and it was taken down. Who knows? And here's the other thing. Like, if we go to his, let's go to his archive really fast. How many videos he has? He has 298 videos,
what's
right?
Most popular.
So the most popular is going to be Ryan Montgomery. 2 months ago, an episode with ethical hacker who hunts child predators, catches one live. Right. Okay. On podcast, 1 in 5 children and here's the other thing. There's I'm sure there's plenty of psyops happening with like human trafficking and like all, human trafficking is all the rage right now. I don't know if you've heard, but it's like it's very in, okay. Not the act itself, because the jury's out on what it even means anymore, but just the term human trafficking is now a very, big thing. Everyone's talking about it. So 1 in 5 children in the United States, this is the description, will be exploited online every 9 minutes. Child Protective Services finds evidence of child sexual abuse. 93% of victims know the perpetrator. These are horrifying and sobering statistics that drive the Sean Ryan show to expose this topic. This is where Ryan Montgomery comes in. All right. 3.9 million views. Now, again, not every single one of his guests is necessarily if he is CIA, not every single one of his guests are, necessarily implicated in that. But I do think that he probably lends himself to people who really maybe aren't sharing verified information.
He's got a sick Rolex.
Sick setup.
Mm-hmm.
Our tier 2 patrons,
tax funded,
they get access to our
studio
training library, which in the 2 states there.
Agreed.
I know where I'd want to live.
I do live in Florida and totally agree with what he's trying to do.
Well, this guy looks MK'd out of his mind,
people
huh?
are into this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do it every day, and I still can't believe it.
But so we're going to kind of wrap things up here. There's a couple of things that we haven't talked about yet. I know you got a couple of facts, statistics that you want to rattle off. Before we get to that, real quick.
Now, didn't you guys interview a pedophile hunter 2 days ago?
Yeah, you know what's crazy about Shu, who hunts pedophiles in California? He, in the state of California, to bait pedophiles and to get them convicted, he had to pretend to be a young woman. Because young men in the state of California, because of that new law, young men can have sex with men over the age of 18, and they because of that new law that like protects homosexual relationships between.
Is that like a NAMBLA thing?
It's like
NAMBLA is basically the organization.
Well, basically he would have an easier time bringing up someone on criminal charges if it was an older man and younger woman than it would have been a younger man. Of
course. Well, and also.
Well, that's disgusting.
Okay, yeah, John, totally. But that's also just, it's kind of the way it is. Like,
it's ridiculous.
There is a bit more.
They also cut off clits in Somalia, so what else are we doing?
Who did?
No, just there's a lot of things that are the way it is. It's not good,
No one's condoning that. Okay, I think there is a bit of a difference in gay relationships and straight relationships, certainly.
It doesn't make them any less
It does
predatory.
not make it... No, I'm not condoning it at all, but I'm saying there is an organization that has like dedicated their life force to...
NAMBLA?
Have you never heard of it?
Yeah, I know NAMBLA. It should be fucking... It should all be burned to death.
I don't agree with any of it. But I'm saying in society, it's a more agreed upon precept that gay men can consent to age can consent to sex at a younger age than straight women. Now, I think women mature faster, so you could actually make the argument that women should be able to consent.
Yeah, the power
earlier.
dynamic with men and women are different. And they just think young men. They think like a 16-year-old man, since it's harder to rape a 16-year-old man than it is to rape a 16-year-old girl. It's okay.
Is it harder to rape a 16-year-old guy?
There were 16-year-olds in
guess
my
it
high
is,
school that beat the fuck out of me now. Like, there's like,
Yeah. Well, anyways, regardless of rape, we're not even gonna get into that. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, that guy you interviewed, he seemed like a very nice guy. I do think though that you can't really be a pedophile hunter without having some pedophilic tendencies. That's just what I think. If you're a pedophile hunter, you know,
I draw
9
that.
times out of 10, you're either a pedophile or you want to be. Sorry.
I think
Sorry.
I think.
I know that maybe it's not right.
I think
for
that
me to
goes out the
say.
window when TikTok fame steps in. You know what I mean?
Now, how so?
Because he's doing it for the gram.
Right. So now, how often is he hunting these pedophiles?
Pretty often, but let's focus up here.
All right, let's focus.
up
Yeah,
Couple of
we're not trying to.
examples. On our break, you were talking about confronting a man in Delray Beach,
Yes.
who then was later caught. And then we also talked about a letter that you got from I don't want to say a gentleman's attorney, a pedophile's attorney.
Right.
Basically standing up for him, trying to pay you. I'll leave it to you from here. Let's start
Gotcha.
with
So
the
I'll start
teacher.
with the guy. The video as of recording now isn't on our YouTube channel, but by the time this is released, people will be able to watch this man's video.
Okay, I actually don't think this guy's
He showed
pedophile. I
up,
think he was raped.
after talking to our decoy,
Which actually
and,
could make him a
talking
pedophile
sexually.
later on.
He was fully aware of the age, and
There's something off about. There's something
Yeah.
off here.
He's a
I looked
nerd.
into the guy. The guy went to school to be a teacher. He has a bachelor's in teaching, teaching to some degree. I don't know what specific topic or if teaching is just a degree, but he is a teacher. He taught at 2 different schools.
What
and,
schools?
I have them on my computer. I don't have them off the top of my head.
Local Florida schools?
One is an online tutor school and another one's not. So, but he has two properties, one in Massachusetts and one in Florida. He showed up to meet. His name was Brent. And I walked up to him with the camera, Scrappy behind me, and we called
Also
his
interesting,
name.
the camera's
And,
shaking
the
right
guy
now,
just
meaning
starts walking
someone's
away
holding
while he's
it.
on the phone with our decoy. And we're like, hey, we have all your information. We know where you live. We know you're like instead of just saying we know where you live, we're giving him the address. We're telling him where his name. We're telling him where he's worked. We tell him age. Like this guy knew that we knew who he was, and he kept walking and kept walking. Then he goes into a full sprint. He's full sprinting through the Walmart, and I'm not a big runner, so I just start chasing after him.
we could gather
I'll
that.
run
Yeah.
as fast as I can.
No one would have accused
catch
you
up
of
with
that.
him. I got the camera in my hand, and I'm screaming.
This guy
at the
needs to
guy
eat
saying,
Michael Phelps' 12,000
what are you
calorie a day
doing
diet.
here? Like, what's going through your head? Guy gets in his car, he drives away. Didn't get a word out of the guy. So we thought, okay, let's just report it to
He
the
also,
police.
you know what I mean? It doesn't have like the zest, the gusto, the required amount of enthusiasm.
quoi.
The joie de vivre, if you will, that's required to, commit your life to something like pedophile hunting,
Yeah, if I was to hunt
as
pedophiles,
though that's like a fucking, occupation.
why don't they just like rob them?
Actually, I was like, ever since I was a little kid, I dreamed of the day where I could become a pedophile hunter. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, at what point did this become like a fucking agreed upon, like that this is like a real career? It's like, yeah, it's called law enforcement. And yeah, they don't always do their job, all right?
Yeah.
But
They actually do
it's the
stuff.
same level of respect I would give to like these fucking
This is the National Guard of Law Enforcement.
These women that sit around and they're so obsessed with true crime that they like accidentally solve a murder. It's like, yeah, well, congrats, lady, but like this isn't like a respectable. You were just passing time, and it just so happened that you were so bored with your own lame life that you put the puzzle pieces together that some like cop who was too busy like scarfing down a hoagie could have done on the on government pension. I don't know.
I'm sure the cop could do
I have
more.
a degree of skepticism about all
I just
these
want. Is that
people.
the most popular part of the fucking podcast?
What does this even have to do with aliens? Who is this guy?
I don't know. He just watched Sean Ryan now.
Teacher.
I was just
big
watching
ad for
Sean
Sean
At
Ryan.
the end of it, a couple days later, I get a text message from a friend that says, "Hey, didn't you just catch this guy?" Her name's Courtney Elizabeth. She's a predator catcher. She
Oh,
texted me a screenshot from another predator catcher,
predator
1,200 miles
catcher
away in Pennsylvania. So we're in Florida.
Yeah, this guy's just getting caught. Anyways,
I mean, get out of town. He's a predator catcher. Fucking A. I don't know, man. This guy looks like he was fucking raped as a kid. And I'm sorry for saying that. I don't like that, but he has that kind of like weird twitch. He has the Kubrick stare a little bit. He has that kind of vaguely disassociative mannerism in the way he speaks, like the way he moves his hands, the fact that he has very broad shoulders but almost no muscle mass. His face looks pretty emaciated, as though he's been tortured. I don't know, or he just is this way.
He looks like that painting, The Screamer.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
The Scream. The
Scream.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He looks like he's had a silencer held to his head
The silencer
many a
isn't the
time.
gun. It's like an object you put on the gun.
I'm gonna make it a
You
gun.
put a silencer on a specific gun.
I'm gonna make it a gun. But I guess to wrap up, I just think that it's a very oversaturated media space with the alien stuff, and it's very, very difficult, increasingly so as like conversations ramp up about this topic, to kind of like figure out who is a liar and who's telling the truth. Because I kind of figure that there's probably a lot of people who have witnessed some crazy shit, and their stories are going to go unheard, or they're going to be discredited, or they're going to fly under the radar because some other guy is going to be, interviewed and say a bunch of nonsense. Like, the thing I wanted to do really quick with
Because
Sean
I asked
Ryan was to see how many videos he has and when he started this podcast and how it got big. That to me is always
That was
kind
his
of the big
biggest
question.
episode.
But my point is like, when did he start? What does this first video have in views? Was this like a precipitous kind of, growth rate, or like at what point did he become huge? Like, Navy SEAL training is his very first video on YouTube. This is 6 years ago. Okay, I would say that's normal. Talking about spec ops and story time with Navy SEAL. Okay, like, when did his podcast start? So he does a bunch of story times. It's just a little interesting to me that his very first video has like 180,000 views. As seldom is the case.
First episode's 3 years ago. It's got 94,000 views.
Okay, and like, who's he interviewing?
I don't know. Maybe
I mean, and 3 years is that's a quick rise to this level of success and this level of fame.
Andre Avlasky.
And for his very first episode, hold on,
Training
let's
out
check
there
this
with you?
out. Look at the fucking setup he has. That's the very first
Yeah.
episode of his
Yeah,
podcast.
he came out.
Look at that set.
Came out. We had a couple
Does he
of
have a
days
new
of
set
training.
now? Just same
He's
set?
interviewing himself.
I mean, he's a good shooter. What? Is that guy?
Whoa,
I mean,
bro,
being a
what?
former
This is
heavyweight
trippy.
champ, UFC fighter. Is he like as big as you would think would be? And does he intimidate you? You know, I didn't.
The hell
that's
kind of
weird.
shit is this, bro?
Sean Ryan, you psychopath.
It's fucking weird as hell.
This entire video is a joke made by the CIA. They're like, they'll never fucking listen to this shit.
Yeah, they're like, who's scrolling
He's like,
down that far?
Sean, smoke an entire fucking blunt and then interview yourself.
Yeah, whoa.
He's like, hey, so Andre Valovsky, how good of a shooter was he?
Yeah, and he just goes. It's Sean Ryan's
Andy Booth.
narcissistic dreamscape where he just interviews himself. What is that thing that you showed me with that guy? Was it Vincent Gallo interviewing himself? For
Yeah, that kicked
magazine?
ass.
Yeah, look at this.
Monte.
This is how you know some shit's
Welcome.
fucking going wrong. This is the title of the video. What does a CIA
show,
spy
man.
carry
Dude, I'm
every
super
day?
stoked to be here. It's
Come
been
on
awesome
now.
catching up before and
Who's
off
this guy? I've
camera,
seen this guy
so I'm
before.
really happy to be
He's a
now on
spy.
camera.
Me too.
What?
He's
Me
a former
too.
spy.
So we're just going to do a warm-up round, just a little bit about you.
Andrew
for this
Busto. You know this
segment.
guy?
You
No,
are
I've seen
a
this video
former
before.
CIA operative. You worked all over the world. Everyday Carry is
John's
a
one of the few people who's like, listen, I know he's CIA. I completely believe everything he's saying.
Yeah, he's a man.
big topic on this channel. It always has
This is the
been.
Spider-Man pointing at
And
Spider-Man
so
meme.
What I'm wanting to know
Where's the little-
is what
oh,
does
here's-
the everyday spy carry on them every day?
Yeah, when it comes to everyday carry, there's a lot of misconceptions
Oh, are
about
there?
spies and EDC. Because a spy's job is to be covert. A spy's job is to blend in.
And I'm sure some of what they're saying
So
is
anything
true.
that we carry on us has to be something that blends in, that doesn't draw attention,
As is
and
the case
that
with any good
withstands
psyop,
something
I
that we call
think.
cover scrutiny. Because if somebody stops us, if a police officer stops us, or if a child bumps into us, or if we get hit by a car and an ambulance comes to help us, we have to fit within our cover identity. So what we carry on us is a big part of what identifies your true affiliation, your true identity. So if you can
Right.
imagine a spy getting hit by like a motorcycle in Vietnam, that's a normal occurrence. Like getting hit by traffic in Vietnam is pretty common. If an ambulance rolls up to you and you're carrying a Glock or you're carrying a hidden knife, and especially if it's got some kind of seal on it that associates you with, the U.S. government or U.S. military, all of a sudden you don't look
Well,
like
that would
whatever your
not
cover
happen,
legend
I
was.
imagine, if
Business
you're-
person, traveling tourist, whatever it might be. So our everyday carry is very, very different from that of the average person. So a couple things. One, we always wear shoes with laces. It sounds silly, but we always wear shoes with laces because you've got
Right.
to always be ready to beat feet, whether you're trying to run away or run towards something. Laced shoes are far superior to
How do you
sandals,
explain James
slip-ons,
Bond, buddy?
to anything else, right?
Next.
We also always carry $100 US dollars. Depending on where we are in the world, most places in the world, $100 US dollars gets you pretty much anywhere you need to go.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it also indicates that you're a fucking spy. You have U.S. money in your pocket when you're in the fucking middle of Bangladesh. It's a little bit. It's a little odd. Anyway,
$100.
$100 US dollars gets you pretty much anywhere you need to go in 80% of the world.
is that
Have
adjusted
you
for
used that
inflation?
before?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can you give
I've
us
gotten
an
myself,
example?
Yeah, so I've gotten myself.
I love how this guy's
across
big cover
rivers
is
and
to look
across
like he owns a
national
coffee
borders
shop in
Southeast
Silver
Asia
Lake.
because
That's his
I
big
had
spy
US
operation
currency
with his fucking
in
headband
$5 and
on
$10
and his
denominations.
curls.
Just wave over a fishing vessel and be like, hey, I need to get to that side of the river. That side of the river is the difference between being in Thailand or being in Burma sometimes. And they don't really care. They don't, to have a $5 US bill, that's the equivalent
I will
of,
say, like, if you're gonna be in the CIA, this is the most fun job to have, I imagine. Not really any real danger.
Yeah, jump
You
it-
go on
well,
podcasts.
they're in the most real-
You kind of
oh.
You kind of do what you know. What
This
I'm
guy
saying?
was running across fucking Southeast Asia, probably like escaping, the junta of
I don't
Burma.
know, man. He's probably raised from childhood to be like, have the
He's for
charisma
sure
of a
Arabic.
child actor, but the geopolitical knowledge of, a spook.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he's wearing a shirt that says "Everyday Spy."
That's
I
his
mean,
company.
This is for middle America folks, okay? This is for the bumpkins in the middle of the road. Or like someone like me or John who like needs something to fall asleep to, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, it's fun. You know what I mean? Like,
of 150 Thai in
What the hell?
a European country.
oh, you want to keep watching?
I want to see what else he
All right,
carried around.
Sorry. Yeah,
God.
I'm
We're
curious.
happy to take-
Have you seen the spy video where they show you? Now that was a cool video where they.
Oh, that
show-
was a great video.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they show you like the different mannerisms of the
US dollars. They're still happy to take US currency.
Sorry.
And they're also still happy
wife
to,
of the man who directed Argo,
to
or
take cash
that Argo was about.
for services. Because again, unlike the United States is a legalistic country. Like, as much as people complain about corruption and deceit and whatever else in the United States, it does not compare at all to what exists in Europe, right? Prostitution is legal in Germany. You can get basically anything you want in the Caucasus or even as far as Romania. And Romania is a NATO country. You can grease the skids anywhere, into any political office, into any business deal, into any manufacturing deal, with U.S. dollars, with currency. You can, whether you want to call it a bribe or whether you want to call it a service fee, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of flexibility in certain morals that here in the United States we've legalized or we've legalistically constrained. So that's why $100 in U.S. currency is absolutely on my everyday carry list.
Interesting. I totally agree with you. I've done it as well, but in
When I was a spy.
$100 is I've personally found to be a little bit harder to bribe with.
It's certainly
So what I'm asking is,
country specific.
do you?
They're having a spy
do you
off
up
right
the-
now.
Yeah.
You up the dollar amount when you're in first world.
Who's a better
countries?
Yes.
spook?
So I'll move it up to more, like if I know that I'm going specifically.
Why
if I
does
know
this
I'm
guy look
going
like
to
he's in
Europe,
movies?
That number two.
He looks like a famous actor.
He looks like the guy. He looks like Kumar.
Andrew Busta. I mean, he's he's a writer. I just know I've seen him somewhere. Andrew Bustamante is a covert CIA intelligence officer, right? This is from the History Channel website, so you know it's real. Andrew Bustamante is a former covert CIA intelligence officer, a decorated wartime military veteran, U.S. Air Force Academy graduate, and successful Fortune 10 corporate advisor. What does that mean? Fortune 10 corporate advisor, right? After 15 years in service to his nation, Andrew skyrocketed through corporate America, specializing in human and technical operations. I mean, the guy looks no more than 35 years old at max, okay? Now again, they're I'm sure they recruit some precocious kids, okay? I mean, they probably human trafficked him and then brought him up this way. Smart,
he's probably found a Wayfair cabinet in Langley.
He's probably part of that CIA black op recruitment campaign that Michael Herrera was going on about, right? They just scooped him up as a kid and made him very smart and very useful. With more than 20 years of experience in both private and public sectors. Now, how could that be? What did you start when you were 15? I don't know, whatever. Andrew has become a highly demanded international private intelligence consultant and the founder of EverydaySpy.com. Right. When he isn't supporting the intelligence operations abroad, Andrew lives with his wife, a fellow ex-CIA officer, and 2 children in southern Florida. Now, they probably are on the periphery of something like the CIA. I really doubt that people like that are kind of like taken, that used to have these, occupations, if you will, and when they're put out in the public like this on YouTube, I imagine they're not really that deep in the nitty gritty. So they probably know just enough on a surface level to like know what their job is and accomplish it. But I mean, in order to seem that well adjusted, unless they're just like great actors, I imagine they're really not going and doing, trade deals and arms race, like they're not doing some crazy shit in different parts of the world. Or maybe they are. And maybe this is just their new post that they have to hold up is podcasting.
He's
essentially podcasting. Come
Yeah.
on. I mean, this is a History Channel bio about him called Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. Look at this photo of him. Are you kidding me, bro? This is for retards. Like this is for retards. I mean, this is exactly like. And by the way, it's a great strategy. Like if you never want to read a book, reading about shit like this or watching these people, it's a great way to kind of like dip your toes into the fun little spy world without really ever having to actually inform yourself as to what's going on. Like, what is this one? CIA spy on World War III's timeline and how it might happen. Well, thank you. I'm so glad.
That'll be cool.
I'm so hey, by the way, has Congress seen this? This could fix all their problems if they just watch
they're like,
this
hey,
podcast.
relax.
Hey, buddy, like, how about this is required reading for our current Secretary of State? How about you give this to Anthony Blinken so we can avert a real tragedy here? Avert a real
Anthony Blinken's trying to make it happen because he's going to be in a bunker underneath a mountain in South
maybe
Dakota.
he wouldn't if he watched Andrew Bustamante on Tom Bilyeu's podcast that got 600,000 views.
Those bunkers are super, super comfy.
And by the way, this is from fucking a month ago. Mm-hmm. I'm going to watch all of this, by the way. I'm going to watch every minute of this.
Can I show you something you could edit it out, but you might think it's funny?
Yes.
These guys make this fake... I found them online. They make fake podcasts like this. It's called Where's Chow?
That kind of rocks.
Yeah. Is it When's
That's
Chow?
great. That's awesome.
Okay, When's Chow podcast episode 1. They got it down so well.
To a science.
The fake military
even got
podcast.
The little logo.
What's up? It's King Pix Media, and welcome to the Wins Chow podcast.
Hold on a second.
You guys like, comment, subscribe, share.
Oh, this is a small channel. Let's support him.
I appreciate all the support so far.
He's great.
I appreciate the continued support. And if you hear...
Let's see. Hold on. They did. When's Chow? They're funny, like little TikTok clips. They make these fake clips of the
Shorts
podcast.
Or something? Just go to the actual thing.
Let's see.
That was the guy, though, right?
King Pix Media.
Shorts, maybe? If that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for like a TikTok, essentially.
Yeah, hold on. We'll do this. Hold on a second.
How did you find this guy?
I see him. I follow him on Instagram. They're really fucking funny. Shorts. I didn't even know about shorts. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, here's like the fake. They do these fake clips.
So of course, I start my day with a challenge, and a lot of people are like, oh, making your bed, that's the first battle of the day. No. I don't subscribe to that at all. How do you put your pants on? One leg at a time, sitting down, right? How do you put your pants on? One leg at a time, sitting down, right? I put my pants on both legs at the same time. And the way that I accomplish that is I get out of the shower without drying off, right? Put on my underwear, both legs at the same time. And I do that by walking to the center of my room or whatever room I'm in, and I lay on my back and I kick my feet up in the air. Those pants
Like a
do
baby.
not move
Yeah.
unless they're moving simultaneously down my left and right leg. That's the first challenge of the day.
I like this guy a lot. It's like
how
those
you win
clips
the
where
day.
that guy's like, here's how you break the space-time continuum. Actually, he didn't even say it this way. He's like, there are 24 hours in a day. Now, if each 6 hours is a day, there's 4 days in one day. I get up from 12 to 6.
Yeah,
That's my
Jocko.
first day. Yeah, fucking
So
annoying
a close friend
people.
of mine, actually a
Oh,
really
this
close
song.
friend of mine. You might have heard of him, Garantham. I'll never forget him telling me. He literally, like in this conversation we had, he said, "If you're not fit, you're gonna die." And that wasn't really a conversation, and I don't really know him personally. It was a YouTube video, but I tag him in all of my social media posts. So
I
only
love.
a
He's
matter
like
of
walking
time,
backwards on a
right?
treadmill right now, holding a shot.
But it's
Like
stuck
a-
with me.
a
And,
gun.
That's one of those conversations that we had, and that wasn't really a conversation. But
You watch Garantham? I'm
No,
gonna
what is
red
that?
pill you on all the gun tubers.
The gun tubers.
You should get in a gun tuber world.
Oh, bro, what are they fucking? What am I gonna under? I'm not gonna understand any of that shit.
Oh, man.
It's like human thumb number 1.
Yeah,
Human
Grantham's
thumb
the man.
number 2.
What's his top video?
Fucking, how do all these people have so many goddamn subscribers? Where do you get them from? Where are
Let's
they?
see. Chinese face armor. That sounds. He just tests out guns and shit, but he's like funny.
Oh my god, bro.
He's the best, man.
I'm more of a Steve
When you
1989
load the
gal.
Garand, just keep your thumb on the top round with pressure going down.
Yeah, you know,
and the
John, when
bolt
you
can't
watch
go all the
this,
way
you think,
forward.
you know who'd
See,
love
right
this?
there.
Ida.
People who talk about Garand thumb just don't have enough experience with the M1 Garand. Just keep your thumb on the top round.
I feel like I have
It
to
won't
sing a John's Gun
cycle
Corner
forward
song
until
right
you
now.
release it. See?
John's a big gay fat retard.
Oh,
He's showing
God.
me gun videos from Grantham. I can't think of the
He's the
song on the
best.
spot.
He's the best.
On the
All right.
road again, back
On the
in
road
John's
again.
Gun Corner. I'm CIA. What is this guy?
Garantham. I
Oh,
knew I would do
buddy.
such a thing called Garantham.
What is
When you're pushing a
Grantham?
mag-
What does
So
that
when
mean?
you load that rifle, that M1 Garand, that's specific, is the main rifle we used in World War II. When you load it, the
Who's we?
we Americans.
All right.
So when you load it, the slide may catch your thumb and crush it.
Oh, well, you know,
So
I guess it's a necessary evil to winning a war. Is
Yeah,
you might
you know.
lose a thumb, and then you can become a thumb later on. What is
seem
this?
to be two great
Oh, hell yeah.
views among scientists, and no
Atomic
doubt would be
bombings of
among others
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
if people knew about it. On the one hand, they hoped
This is
that
how you get me to believe something. You show me a black and white from the 1950s
this
video
instrument
with this kind of,
would never be
kind of
used in
fuzzy
war.
sounding audio. I'm in.
and therefore they hoped that we would not start out by using it. On the other hand, they hoped, or other people hoped, that it would put an end to this war, save countless lives, put an end to a butchery that had been going on.
gay. Sorry.
Gay.
Gay.
All right,
Oppenheimer.
guys.
All right.
We've gone down the spook rabbit hole a little bit. We can
I think
always
we need to, like-
we can explore it more at a later date. You know what I mean?
What are we talking
Given
about?
that I'm a spy,
On the
apparently.
writer's strike.
Oh, well, that's for the public.
Okay.
So we're going to get out of here, but this has been very fun. I promise you I'm not a spy, all right? I would never join. Now I'm a little freaked out saying all this in a public forum. It doesn't matter. I don't have nearly enough
CIA,
followers.
come contact Ida.
Come on the CIA, come on the pod.
Yeah, the whole
please.
CIA.
Andrew Bustamante, we would love to have you. All right.
We're gonna hit up Once Chow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Grantham.
we're gonna hit up Garantham. Okay, everyone.
Yeah.
Wait, say Garantham again, sassy like.
Grantham.
There we go. Everyone screenshot that
Like-
video of Grantham
Yeah, get
and then
that
send it
soundbite
to
up there.
Yeah, get that soundbite to Grantham. We're gonna become huge on the gun tuber movement. This is exactly what I've wanted. I'm just pimping Ida out to do things that I want to do. So let's all get it going.
Yeah.
Join the Patreon. It's fantastic. This is kind of like a little taste of what the Patreon's a little bit like.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a taste. All right, guys. Grantham and good night.